What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great week. So right now I'm in the middle of quite a few builds. We've got this custom Strat going, and then I've got some other builds and refinishes going on the side, and so pretty busy. But this weekend I was feeling creative, and I noticed that I had a couple spare parts lying around. I had this really sweet dark cherry burst poplar Strat body, and I had this solid birch Les Paul neck that I made a few months ago, and I decided to do like a quick weekend parts caster build. And so anyways, I took those parts, put them together, but I didn't want to make just like another generic Strat build. So what I did was I tried to incorporate some new ideas into this, some new design themes and build ideas. And so I think we came out with something really cool with this fixed neck 3-on-3 Strat hybrid. It was a really fun build, and I really love the way it came out. It's definitely one of my favorite guitars, if not my favorite guitar that I've made so far. So I videoed, put it together for you guys to watch, and I'm going to do some voiceover through it and explain some of the stuff that I'm doing. The finishing processes of guitar making tend to be a little bit harder to understand just by watching, so I'll talk you through some of it. Anyways, hope you enjoy it, and I will link the reverb listing to this guitar in the video description. So go check it out, and thanks for watching.
Okay, starting by marking out our template for our pickguard onto this really sweet piece of mahogany. I mean, the whole idea of this build is to make a really unique looking Strat, and wooden pickguards on Strats are not something that I've seen a lot. So flushing it up on the router table, and just like that we have a really cool looking wooden pickguard for our Strat. I think this mahogany is going to look really nice. Beveling over the edges with my thumb plane. I like to do that by hand. And now drilling all the holes to accept the hardware. Here I'm flushing up the pickguard with the neck pocket. I like to do that with the actual body of the instrument to get a really clean custom fit. Screwing in some of the hardware just to get the fit right while we drill the holes into the body for the screws. Alright, this is the neck that we're going to be using for this build. It's an old Les Paul neck that I built a few months ago. Never actually used it, so now I'm just gonna cut the profile up a little bit, make it unique, and we'll be using it on the Strat. Here we see marking out our new headstock shape and cutting it out on the bandsaw.
Okay, here we have all our neck components. We've got our neck, obviously, truss rod, fretboard, and faceplate cover, a little strip of mahogany. It's going to match to the pickguard. Now we're just going to put them all together.
So the strip of tape on the truss rods keep glue from falling into the cavity around the truss rod and keep it from seizing up over time. Just another precaution to enhance the longevity of this instrument. Now we're gluing on the fretboard. I do this with a couple clamps and rubber straps. The rubber straps give a really even focus compression around the whole board and keep the entire thing tighter than you really get with a bunch of clamps, you know, random spots. Keeps everything very, very compressed. Alright, a few hours have passed, and we're just taking off our clamps and cleaning up the edges where the glue squeezed out. Attaching the nut here, I like to use exotic hardwoods. Now we're cutting out the faceplate and the truss rod cover for this headstock. Really cool flush mounted truss rod cover. It's going to fit right into the mahogany and match perfectly. Maybe be invisible. If not invisible, at least really cool looking flush mount truss rod cover. Okay, some time has passed. Pulling off the clamps again and flushing up around the existing birch headstock. Always important that you use a backing plate when you're drilling through a piece of wood like this. Throwing on some really nice oil varnish on this mahogany pickguard. The oil varnish goes into the wood and hardens, so give a really nice natural but strong finish, and shielding the back to keep outside frequencies from messing with the pickups. Installing the pickups now. These pickups are potted pretty well, but I do shield all my guitars, as you can see, shielding paint and the shielding tape. Okay, now we are making our jack plate. I'm deviating from the standard steel inset jack plate for the Strat with this mahogany jack plate. A couple of reasons. Just one, it looks really cool, and secondly, because I'm going to be doing something else with this guitar in the next few weeks. I'll be showing you guys that, and that jack plate kind of plays into that. Gluing up the neck, make sure we get glue on all the sides and taping up to keep the glue from getting on any of our finish or the pickguard. Don't want to end up gluing our pickguard onto the body. Create a really tight, strong joint, which is really good. That's exactly what we want. Took a little muscle to get it on. Alright, a few hours have passed. We take the clamps off. Now we can start setting up with the rest of the hardware. Here I'm just screwing in the trem bridge and setting up the claw with our springs and soldering on the ground. Okay, here's the fun part, fretwork. It's not necessarily my favorite, but it's definitely worth it because this is what sets my instruments apart from any factory-made instruments you'd buy. It can take 3 to 4 hours to do just one neck, though. Sanding through the different grits and getting the frets all polished up. At the end, it's fun, though, because you get to put the oil on right here, and that makes it look beautiful. Definitely the best part of building guitars, adding the oil. A little bit on the headstock, and we're ready for the tuners. Okay, cutting the string holes in the nut. Do that, measure them out by hand. And finally setting up the guitar. I decided to do this from the luxury of my living room. Just because when you run your own business, you can do stuff like that. And this guitar is just about done.